Somebody wrote me a comment and asked me, do I think if Canelo Alvarez achieves undisputed, will he surpass Floyd Mayweather's legacy? Number one, I don't even know why this is a subject, but I'm on it, okay? Canelo could never, ever pass Floyd Mayweather because you can't surpass somebody that beats you. And the real question is, could Canelo even achieve undisputed if it wasn't for Mayweather? You want to know why? Because how can you claim to be better than somebody whose style you took to further your career in boxing? Not only that, Canelo Alvarez's name was built off of being on the undercards of Floyd Mayweather. His popularity came from losing to Mayweather. He advanced in the sport by adapting Mayweather's style. So how could you ever surpass somebody who built you? How? It makes no sense. But just in case that is not good enough, I got a silver bullet for that ass, and it will sink your ship. This is just deductive reasoning and common sense. Anybody who's going around telling you that Canelo Alvarez can surpass Floyd Mayweather once he achieves undisputed just snitched on themselves. They're just too stupid to know it, but they just snitched on themselves. Why do you say that? Because why is it hard to surpass a legacy in which you guys said he's been a career ducker, he's been a career cheater, he cherry picks all his fights, he has refs inside of the pocket, he has IV, he hits women, all this other stuff. That's not a legacy that's hard to surpass. But the fact that you say once he achieves undisputed, he will surpass Floyd Mayweather, it lets you know that Mayweather is what they look up to. Because you would not compare Canelo to Mayweather if all that shit y'all said was actually true, because it wouldn't be hard to surpass. So the fact that you use Mayweather is your template, because even you recognize he has a superior career. This is why you don't compare Canelo to other Mexican greats. This is why y'all just stuck on Floyd, because Floyd is the pinnacle. So saying that once he achieves it, he will surpass him lets you know that even if they said he's been ducking, he's been cherry picking, he's been using an IV, he's been using drugs, he did all that and Canelo still can't pass him? Yeah. Now that I put it like that, it seems asinine, doesn't it? Because anybody who goes around saying that is an absolute retard. And I told you, Canelo Alvarez fans are not fucking intelligent. I don't mean to insult all of you, but I do mean to insult majority of you. That's just a fucking fact. So the fact that you're trying to say that, well, once he does this, he'll surpass Floyd. He's supposed to surpass Floyd already. And he can never surpass Floyd when everything he got came from Floyd. The attention to his name came from Floyd. The skill set that you see in that boxing ring that's making him superior like he is right, it comes from Floyd. The whole world got to know him because Floyd beat his ass. So how in the hell could you try to compare legacies? You can't. That's your daddy. That is literally your daddy. This is why you're worried if you grow taller than him. Because he is what you look up to. Why Canelo fans don't compare Canelo to other Mexican boxing legends and superstars. Why go directly to somebody that's a cheat, a cherry picker, uses an IV, cheats, got refs? That's who you want to run to compare your all-time great? That's them indirectly telling you that even they recognize that Mayweather's legacy is great. And it just cancels out all that bullshit that they ever said about him. Because if any of that shit was true, you would not sit Canelo next to him, because it would be a shutout. But the fact that Floyd can do all that, like y'all say he does, and he's still better than Canelo, and Canelo ain't better than him until he achieves undisputed, lets you know what Mayweather really is. That's why anybody who says something like that just snitched on themselves. They're just too damn stupid to know it. Now try to point out one hole in what I just said. Just try to point out one hole. You can't. Because did I recite fact or fiction? Fact. Canelo did build himself up on the undercard of Mayweather. Canelo did become known to the world by losing to Mayweather. Canelo did steal Mayweather's style and applied it to himself to help further his game in boxing. Canelo did lose to Mayweather. All that. And you think this person can surpass the person that made him? It's ridiculous. But somebody had to point it out to him, you know? So to answer your question, well, I just answered your question. And if you use common sense, there's no way you can come to any other conclusion than what I just told you, because everything is a fact. That's the difference between me and a fanboy. I can always beat they ass because I only fuck with the truth. So therefore, that's why they can't win against me. And they never will. Because when you stay in fanboy land, okay, you deal with shit that's fictional. When you come over here, you deal with reality. And reality is a cold dose of water. That's why y'all scream once it hits your face. But as far as a comparison, just the fact that you want to suggest that he could be better than him or surpass him lets you know, they let you know directly what they really think of him. He's really the person to be or to be like or to be better than. And how was that ever possible when y'all never gave him credit for shit? And he has a horrible resume. Horrible resume. So why compare Canelo to him? They just snitched on themselves. They're just too dumb. I'm out.